Tribe. This is DubApe. I'm here with a free tutorial for you guys, since I think it's interesting for the people that have a SubPac at home. I have a very special way to connect my SubPac to my PC, and wanted to show you how I've done it within Cubase. Because as soon as I got my SubPac, I wasn't. I mean, it was amazing to feel the sub, of course, but I wasn't really sure how to use it in music production, because you have the volume knob on there, and with each track I had to find the right spot for this the volume knob to be on there. And you know, I always have my room level at the same amount when I'm mixing or producing, but the sub pack just decides to not do that with me. So what I have done here is, first up we go to F4 to the audio connections, or here up here studio audio connections, and I enabled my control room. The control room is basically like a huge controller for controlling all your outputs. So to say, you have multiple speakers, you have a cue track like I showed in my deep dubstep mixdown tutorial. You can feed in external sources like a browser. You can treat the loudness of your phones differently than your main output. You can put a metronome just on the phone, so it's great for recording as well. And what I've done here is I enabled my audio connections, and said that my monitors are not stereo like with the rest, but they're left, right, and center. So I have 5 outputs on the output 1. I have my left speaker. Output 2, I have my right speaker, and on the center I have audio connection 5, which is feeding into the SubPac. Now, if I would play it like that, then both channels would get added up and feed into the center channel, so I would have the SubPac twice as loud as it is right now. And I don't want to do that. That's why I got this free plugin from Melda Productions, which is called the Channel Matrix. There are a few other channel matrices out there, but that seemed to be the easiest for this case. So I selected audio input 1 to go into 1. So input 1 goes out in input 1, and input 2 goes out in input 2. 3 doesn't go anywhere, so we killed the 3, the third input, which would be the center one, and audio channel 1 and 2 are feeding into the SubPac here. So 1 feeds into the left channel, of course, and to the center channel, and 2 to the right and to the center channel. So you can see we now have 3 channels that come out of my sound card into my left speaker, right speaker, and the SubPac. The problem now is the SubPac's still way too loud, so I used the Cubase plugin, which is called Mixer Delay, and I have my left, right, and center channel here. I adjusted the level of my SubPac minus 60 dB, because I tend to find that this is exactly the right amount to be on the same level as my speakers in my current setup. You need to change that, I'm pretty sure, because that won't be right for everyone. But just listen to your tracks or other tracks in a normal loudness, so you feel comfortable listening to it and producing on that level. And then you just leave the SubPac on the 0 mark at the volume knob that it has, and just play around with this level. What I also found in my room, that the SubPac is slightly slightly delayed. They're slightly behind my speakers. That is not really good to work with. So what I did is I added a 20 millisecond delay on the left and the right channel, so that the audio signal always starts 20 milliseconds later through my speakers, but it goes right away out of the SubPac. That way it's actually coming in at the same time, which is really helpful if you're producing music, to not have any delays in there. And that's how I would set up my SubPac. So as you can see, everything comes out at the same level and at the same time. Yeah, and that's how I set up my SubPac. I hope that helps. Have a lot of fun with this, and peace out.